To the tricks of e-commerce, our reporter Li Zhangmiao talks with Jeff Bezos, founder and CEO of Amazon.com, the global B2C model trendsetter. Bezos earlier visited Shanghai to show his commitment to Amazon's Chinese subsidiary, Joyo.com, purchased 3 years ago.
What do you see are the key decisive components in the B2C business?
In the B2C business, everything that has to do with consumers we start with the customer and work backwards. So we try to find out what customers like. I've already mentioned selection, low prices, and fast delivery. Another example of something that's important to customers is very good discovery. So can you find on the website what you're looking for?
Let's talk about preferential price. You just lifted the domestic delivery fee of your books and other goods to Chinese customers, but still we feel like if you order something, foreign language books, for example, via Amazon platform in the States, still the shipping fee is really, really high. So is there any measure to reduce the fee to lure more customers here in China?
Well, international shipping is very expensive, and so unfortunately it has to be fairly expensive. All over the world, when we're doing local shipping, we are very aggressive on our shipping prices and get them as low as possible. In fact, in every country, including China at Joyo, we offer free shipping. Right. So there's a difference between the kind of cross-border international shipping, which we have to charge for.
So logistics is also a very key part, right?
It is. Logistics is very important, and being efficient so that you can afford to offer low prices is a very, very challenging thing to do. Something that may surprise you that most people don't think about is that we have spent, over the last 12 years that we've been building our business, probably 70% of our time, energy, and money on the back end, the logistics, the supply chain, the fulfillment centers, the tools that we use to do customer service. None of these things are visible on the website, but they lead to a much better customer experience, and they lead to a lower cost structure so that then we can afford to offer low prices.
We know that in the States, actually, you adopted the zero inventory model, actually, while Joyo, before the buyout, was adopting the full inventory model. And now, actually, you're building up big warehouses across China in big cities, for example, like Shanghai, Beijing, and Guangzhou. Does that mean that your logistics strategy has changed?
No, there may be a misunderstanding. The U.S. has always had a heavy inventory model. So we operate our own fulfillment centers, and we stock deep inventory in the U.S. We do that everywhere we do business. We operate the same way all over the world.
Some of the new B2C models, some of the websites, actually, they're abandoned this model, saying they are outsourcing the logistics part, the warehouse, and that saves a big budget.
It's a different approach. For us, because we have the resources to build our own infrastructure, it gives us more control over the customer experience, which we think is so important.
Right.
Also, we have, over the last 12 years, learned to be very efficient in doing this. So it also gives us a lower cost structure. So you're right that the upfront investment is higher when you do it yourself, as we do. When you take the virtual model, the upfront investment is lower, but the ongoing costs are higher.
Let's talk about the variety of goods. Over the past years, the variety of goods offered by Joyo actually has been 32 times than before. And we know that in a B2C business, the wider range of goods that you operate, the cost will eventually soar. So how do you balance this?
Well, I'm not sure I agree with the premise of the question. One of the great advantages of our model is that we can offer a vast selection and still do that in a very cost-effective way. Around the world we have tens of millions of different products in our catalogs, and we keep many of those products in our own fulfillment centers, and we do that in such a efficient way that we're still able to offer very low prices. So I'm not sure there's really a connection between vast selection and higher costs.
The wider range of goods you offer, the inventory will eventually go up. How do you like to digest those kind of inventories?
The way we manage inventory is something that we've learned over time to do, and we do it in a multi-node network. So we have multiple fulfillment centers.
Right.
And we will keep the fast-moving items, the items that are best sellers that people buy all the time. We'll keep those best-selling items in all of our fulfillment centers so that they're close to customers. If it's a very obscure item and it's a slow seller, we will keep it, but we may keep just a small number of items and maybe only in 1 or 2 fulfillment centers. We won't keep them everywhere. And so that lowers the amount of inventory that we have on hand for those slow-moving items and allows us to have very high inventory turns and therefore very good return on capital and also very good cost structure.